first few years of college, I threw every single day.
Of course you want to be a champion. Of course you want to be working towards winning titles.
Be happy, but never satisfied.
Better than ever.
My first few years of
Good afternoon. We are filming live today from Kelowna, BC in the beautiful Thompson-Okanagan region, which is situated on the traditional unceded territory of three interior Salish nations, the Syilx, Secwepemc, and the Nilek-Pamau peoples. Please thank our sponsors, or I'd like to thank our sponsors at the beginning of each broadcast, BE Ultimate, Discraft, and this is brought to you by Ultimate Canada. Today, we are looking at a mixed matchup between Notorious KWG out of Ontario from the Kitchener, Waterloo, and Guelph areas, and we got a local team, the Granny Smiths. Are you excited for this game, Grace?
I'm excited. I have a bit of a connection to both teams. I lived in Ontario for a year, and I actually played with a few of the players on Notorious KWG, so it'll be interesting to see. And grew up in the Okanagan, and I grew up playing with a lot of these people on Granny Smiths, so it'll be a fun matchup to see. We've got a lot of fun characters on both sides, and it'll be a nice, hard game. The Granny Smiths are starting on defense, and it'll be a good matchup.
So we've got the Granny Smiths on the left side in green. They will be pulling the disc to Notorious KWG in white on the right side of the field.
So for these mixed games, we are playing gender ratio rules. So they will be alternating 4 gender, 3 gender every second point. So this first one will start 4 male matching players. A male matching player will be pulling the disc. And then the next 2 points following will be for female matching with a female matching player pulling the disc. So a bit of some equity here on the field now. It's a nice change that Ultimate Canada made, and it's nice to see the women more utilized in a mixed game.
I agree entirely, Grace. So looks like the game is just about to start. We've got the observers in the bright orange jerseys, not quite referees. This game will be self-officiated by the players, but the observers will be there to provide their support, how they saw the play happen.
They're really there more than anything else just to call offsides on the line and the disc in or out. They don't really have an opinion on the plays. They're more just to mediate the discussions, make sure everyone has a cool head.
All right, the game is off. We got Chris Alexander with the pull over to Notorious KWG out of Ontario in white, passing the disc up to Tim Likely. Notorious KWG dropping the disc back and moving it Oh, and we've got a huck there from Froze up to Ready Cop. Swinging it over to Likely, and Likely passes it up to Neary with the catch for a quick point for Notorious.
There's some efficient movement there from Notorious. A bit of a whoopsie on the throw there. Seemed to work out for them, but a bit risky, kind of floaty in the middle. There's a lot of people up there, a lot of different players that could have pulled that down, but they came up with it, so worked out for them.
Now, both these teams are coming off this tournament with a win, right? They both won this game. So do you think they're coming into this game a little bit of confidence from that win?
Yeah, they'd be feeling good. I actually watched the KWG game, and they killed. They were unbelievable, very efficient, really, really good movement, and they were looking good. So I imagine they feel pretty good. I didn't get to see the Granny Smiths game, but I know a lot of them, and if nothing else, a lot of those players have confidence. So we'll see how it plays out.
Well, we just saw a little bit of that efficiency from Notorious. Excellent point for them. They will be pulling the Frisbee over to the Granny Smiths in green, and they are leading the game 1-0. Looks like they are ready to pull it. And that looked like Dearden with the pull. Up to Chester, and a quick pass over to Bowie, number 43. Quick cut. Oh, back to number 8. Palowitz. Over on the line. Chester swings it back to the middle. Great catch by Bowie. Up the middle. Over to Makar. Makar moves it up the middle to Husker. Oh, we have a pick called, Grace. So what exactly is happening when someone calls pick?
So pick, unlike basketball or other sports, is not allowed. So you cannot interfere with somebody else's pass to the disc or keeping up with their check.
Looks like they got the game started right back away, and we got Bowie on the sidelines. Moves it back into the middle, up to Chester, and a quick throw over to Chung, who catches it. Excellent movement there by Granny Smiths.
Yeah, it's a beautiful. I actually have a few of the Granny Smiths players on my club team that plays not in the Masters division, and I have to say Palowitz is unbelievably consistent with the disc, always looking to break throws, and really, really low turnover ratio. She's a really good rock to have for the Granny Smiths on offense. They can run it out of her, and they're going to have high success there.
That looked like really clean, patient movement by the handlers in the center of the field, moving it across the line, waiting for their opportunity to move it up the field. So that ties it up 1-1 for the Notorious KWG, standing for Kitchener, Waterloo, and Guelph, and in white, and the Granny Smiths in green.
Both teams looking pretty strong on offense. Defense not putting too much pressure, but we'll see if that changes. Maybe we're going to see some different defensive looks. We'll see.
So we've got Granny Smiths holding the disc up. Looks like they're ready to pull. We got a pull just past the center line. And Notorious looking to strike here. Put forward by Likely. Hucked right to the end zone. Oh. And caught by Barons. Quick turn, or quick point there by Notorious. What happened there, Grace?
Hayward was trying to catch up there, and it just looked like he tripped on the, I don't know, nice soft grass. I don't know what caught him there, but he was right in there and had a little fall down. So easy get by KWG player.
They are on the artificial turf, and I wonder if sometimes that that it's hard to go from playing a game on grass to coming and now playing a game on the artificial turf.
The traction's certainly a little different. I personally don't love the turf. I'm more of a grass player. It's a little softer, little easier to lay out in.
I bet. Yeah, this can be a little bit abrasive if you're diving for it, but I'm sure these players won't hesitate today. So that's 2 points for Notorious in white to 1 for the Granny Smiths, the local team in green. Little conversation on the line. Looks like they are ready, and they'll be pulling it to the Granny Smiths. And we just had 2 female pullers, so now we have 2 male points, and we have a male puller. Pulled back to the Granny Smiths, up to Chester, number 62 in the center of the field. Over to Sill, and back to Chester. He fakes a huck up the field. Swings it back. Swings it over to Dimma. Dimma drops it back. Back to Chester. And he moves it up the field to Husker. Continues it up to Chester. Drops it back to Sill. And a good give and go by Sill, and he puts it up forward. Caught by Russ. Sorry, I was calling him Husker. Russ. Craig Rust caught that in the end zone. Oh, sorry. And that was Doug Tam. Thank you so much.
There's 2 married couples on Granny Smith's here. There's the Sills and the Tams, and we just had a bit of a miscommunication there. It was, in fact, Doug Tam that was making that handler movement up the field.
Thank you so much, Grace.
Sill is on the field now.
So we got Granny Smiths with a excellent conversion there, tying it up 2-2. These teams are looking great on offense right now.
Yeah, really consistent with the disc. Not a whole lot of turnovers, taking shots that they know they can make and that they know they're going to complete. It's looking pretty good so far.
So Notorious out of Ontario would love to respond to that with a quick point of their own. Granny Smith talking on the line, deciding how they're going to play their defense. You can see the observer. Is he sort of encouraging them to put that in the air?
Yeah, they have only a certain amount of time to get the pull up once the hands have been raised.
A nice deep pull there. Moved up the field. It was Thornton who has it. Nice forehand up the field. Moves it to Neary. Dropped back. Over to Thornton. Thorson forehands it over to the side. Drops it back to Reddy Cop. Reddy Cop looking up the field. Swings it over to Froze. Over to Neary. Drops back to Froze. Froze in the center. It gets up in the air. Over the sidelines for Sherman. Back to the middle. To Froze. Froze puts it up. And sends it into the end zone. Conversion for Notorious. 3-2 now. Notorious over Granny Smiths.
So Froze with some of those high release backhands. She's a tall lady, and seems to be wide open and working quite well for her. Nice break shots, creating a good flow on the break side for KWG.
Really good passes. Looks like Notorious was not making any mistakes out there, putting the pass where they wanted, making the catches.
Yeah, both these teams seem to be really valuing the disc a little bit different than the last game we saw, where it was just a little bit riskier shots. These teams both just looking for the 100% completion, and I really think that whoever gets a break might be the winner of this game with this offensive consistency.
Now, last play, we saw Granny Smith's offensive line. We really saw James Chester and Palowitz really handling the disc. Do you think we'll see that again this time?
Well, Palowitz isn't on this point, so wondering who is going to stay back with Chester, if he's going to be all alone back there by himself.
Okay, disc is up. Just past the brick line here. Hosker moves it up to Chester. Chester kind of stuck with it, puts it up for Hills. Over to Hosker. Hosker looking for up the field. Swings it back to Hills. Hills puts it in the middle. Looks like a foul is called there.
Somebody on the sideline saying still spinning. If you are calling a strip, you have to stop rotation of the disc to call a strip. If it's in your hands, but you have not called or you've not stopped the rotation, cannot be called a strip.
I see. So that's when you're literally pulling the disc, a stopped disc, out of someone's hands.
Just ripping it right out.
That is a foul. And so right now they're discussing, was the disc still spinning? Was it stripped out of the player's hands? And again, this is a self-officiated sport. The observer is there to mediate these discussions, but it's really up to the players what call is made. Looks like the play continues, and it's put up, but a great defensive play by Notorious. Number 16, Martin, knocks that disc down. Notorious looking for a break point here. Atkinson moves it up. And Tang has the disc. Swings it over to Martin. And it is caught by Notorious. Number 11, Thomas Flynn, for the break point there.
Just that last point for Granny Smith's had some different handlers on, and handlers that are typically not handlers. So the movement was a little bit stagnant for them. So seeing who they're going to put out this line for handling and see if maybe they'll switch up those lines to be a little bit more even.
Big moment for Waterloo there, able to take a 2-point lead over the Granny Smiths. The local team here out of Kelowna needs to try to make something happen to bounce back from that.
As I said the point before, a break might win the game, and that very well could be it. It was hard-fought defense and converted well on it.
You know, they had that discussion about whether it was a strip or not, and there was a turnover immediately after. How can a discussion like that really influence your flow of the game?
Well, I don't know. Some people say the disc doesn't lie, so that could be it. Maybe just a little bit of a high stall count and a rushed throw.
Yes. Well, nonetheless, Waterloo is pulling it over to the Granny Smiths in green. Looks like it's gone out of bounds. They'll be bringing it over to the brick line just in front of their own end zone in the center of the field, looking to make back that lost point in the last one. Oh no, a drop disc by Palowitz. And Notorious with another opportunity for a break point. Likely moves it up the field. Barons looking to make this happen. Drops it back to, oh, another discussion on the field. Okay, Notorious back at it. Likely on the sideline, moves it up, looking to convert right on the end zone here. Likely making a cut, and he catches it. Likely Notorious with another break point. Commanding lead here now, 5-2.
KWG is a team that values the disc, so turning it over on your own break line is a surefire way to get scored on. They're not going to make mistakes, especially that close to the end zone. So Granny Smiths has got to change their tune a little bit. What they're doing now is not working, and I don't think this is a team you can make mistakes with. KWG really coming in clutch on those.
I agree. KWG is looking clean right now, confident out there. Granny Smith looks like both teams are together having a discussion, and I'm sure the Granny Smiths are wondering, what can we do to turn this around? How do they deal with this just efficient, tight passes that we're seeing from Waterloo? Obviously, in the course of a game, a player is going to drop a pass, but Waterloo made sure that, or sorry, I called them Waterloo. Notorious made sure to punish that little mistake from Granny Smiths and make sure they got the point.
I think that's going to happen every time Granny Smiths makes an error. So they got to really tighten it up and start converting on their offense.
Okay. Both teams taking the field. Again, we've got the local team from Kelowna in green, the Granny Smiths, versus Notorious KWG in white out of Ontario. KWG leading the way, 5-2. Granny Smiths on offense here, looking to make this point. They need this point.
Looks like Granny Smiths have put out a pretty strong line here. A lot of really capable throwers, some strong handlers. So we'll see what they can make out of it.
Okay. Looks like maybe they understand that this is a time where they need this point. Let's put out some of our stronger players, some capable throwers.
Don't want to go down 3 in a row.
Okay. Nice big huck by Notorious. Caught by Chester, and he puts it up to Tam, over to Palowitz, up to Bowie. And a little bit of a miss throw. No one there for Bowie's throw. And Notorious, another chance for a break point here. Blanchard on the sideline, number 55.
Beautiful poach.
Great interception there. Palowitz moved it up, and then it was dropped back to Bowie and put up for Tam. Tam catches it. Excellent recovery from Granny Smiths. Bringing the score a little bit closer, 5-3 now. Granny Smiths still need to find some break points of their own.
Staples there on Granny Smiths did some beautiful poaching. Handlers sloughed off a little bit and just parked herself right in the lane, and they just didn't see her and threw it right at her. So that was some unbelievable defense on her part. She really made that one up for her team.
So she's sort of moving into almost like a zone and kind of waiting to sort of pounce on that throw.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Leaving her player unattended in the handler position and taking the up the field looks.
And it sure paid off. Getting that interception and her team able to make a conversion. Excellent point there. Now the Granny Smiths defensive line will be looking for a break point here to try and catch up to this this Waterloo team, which has taken an early lead here. Observers have their hands up, and looks like here comes the pull.
Big pull.
Yeah. Cameron Dunning putting it deep, but
well out of bounds.
Just drifts out of bounds there. So KWG will be taking it at the brick line in the center of the field. Is a break point really important at this point of the game, or do you think Granny Smiths are thinking, oh, we got a whole game ahead of us?
They better not be. With the offensive consistency that KWG has, they need every break they can get.
Well, KWG making some good passes, moving the disc along the field, finding an upwards throw there. We got Barons moving it up to Blackett on the sidelines, swinging it back into the middle. Sherman moves it up, looking for that opportunity, puts it up, and Sherman brings it down.
So JD Sherman there that just scored the point is actually one of the people I had the pleasure of playing with, and he's absolutely wonderful, really great energy on the field, always a positive guy. Like, he really brings the energy of the team up and can keep it consistent and fun for everyone around him. So really big asset for KWG, and it's nice that they get to play with him. He's absolutely wonderful.
We saw that right there. A little bit of a give and go from the middle of the field, cutting into the corner end zone for a catch and a point. That puts KWG in white at 6 over the locals, Granny Smiths, with 3. Little bit of conversation on the sideline. And this point is very important for Granny Smiths to stay in this game. So the hand is up. And Dearden, 52, pulling it down to Granny Smiths. Over to Tam, who puts it to Bowie in the center of the field. Finds a spot and moves it up to Chung. Back to Tam and over to Bowie in the center of the field again. Looking for that upfield throw. Back to Chung. Bowie continued, but Chung couldn't find him. Oh, finds him there in the undercut, and Bowie puts it up. And it is caught. Haley Hosker catches it in the end zone.
If there's one thing Michael Bowie likes to do, it's huck the disc. So we're going to be seeing a lot of that, I'm sure. This is one of his favorite things to do, and he's pretty good at it, as we've seen so far this game. So I'm sure we'll be seeing more of that.
Well, he also showed some patience there. A few times he was looking up the field, looking for that huck, but decided to go for a shorter throw. But when he saw his opportunity, he saw Hosker, number 4, cut into the end zone, and an excellent throw and catch there. So Granny Smiths doing their best to keep it close. 6-4 for White. For Notorious KWG, they will be receiving the pull from Granny Smiths, and I'm sure the defensive line from Granny Smiths will be looking for that break point, for a turnover and a conversion to try and catch up to this efficient team from Ontario here. All right, the hands are up, and here comes the pull. Ooh, I hear an offside called there. Oh, but they're playing on. Okay, some quick passes there by KWG. Oh, and just dropped it on the ground there.
Turns out maybe playing that offside was not the option they wanted to take.
And that was 25, nickname Rambo on KWG. But now we got Granny Smiths moving it up the field. Moving it up there. We got Dimma putting it back into the middle. Moved it up to Chris Alexander, but he could not continue it on. And Rambo there with the defensive play. KWG picks it up and hucks it immediately. Caught by Ritzel. Ritzel drops it back to Wiley Toll. And Wiley Toll slides one in there for Neary, who catches it and gets the point.
It was a beautiful poach of their own on KWG's part. Again, just a woman sloughing off her player, staying in the lane, and getting the disc thrown right to her from Chris Alexander. That's the first turnover, first error we've seen from KWG. So let's see how they rebound from it. See if their offense goes back to the way it was before.
Really good play defensively from KWG and way to capitalize on that turnover to get the point, holding their lead. It is now 7 for KWG in white to 4 for Granny Smiths in green. Looks like Granny Smiths, they're talking on the line. I'm sure they understand how important this point is to stay in this game. The huck is up by Blanchard and caught by James Chester, who puts it back to the center for Kyle Hosker. Puts it up to Bowie. Bowie looking for that huck. Forehand huck. It's in the air and brought down by Jeff Sill.
Oh, doing a little skip away, him and his check. Some nice spirit on the field there, and another big huck from Michael Bowie. Switching it up, going with a flick huck this time. Same execution though, really well done. Nice deep strike.
And excellent contested catch by Jeff Sill. Fun to see how they can have fun out there, even though I'm sure in the moment they're both want that disc very badly. So we've got KWG still leading at 7 in white to the Granny Smiths with 5 in green. Again, Granny Smiths are going to need to find that turnover, find that break point to bring themselves back into this game.
They've got a strong D-line out there. Let's see what they can bring forward.
Looks like the hand is up. Observers are calling for the Granny Smiths to pull the frisbee. And it is up. Dunning, number 13, puts it up. Oh, gets a little bounce and roll here. KWG picks it up and moves it up the field. Real quick passes by KWG. Good pass over to Redicop. Oh, and Redicop tries to move it up the field, but looks like Blackett couldn't get there in time. And Granny Smiths have that opportunity for this break point. And there is a huck. Ryan Hayward looking to catch it, and he does. Number 52 brings it down from the huck thrown by Melnichuk.
Melnichuk there did a really good job faking out his defender, doing a big flick fake, getting his defender to bite on that, and then had a wide open backhand to Ryan Hayward in the end zone. It was a beautiful throw. Hayward doing a good job of running it down. keeping it in the end zone, and beautiful point for them.
And that is just what the Granny Smiths needed. They needed that turnover. They needed to convert. Now they have brought it
7-6 for KWG still.
7-6. So they brought it within one.
Really keeping them away from half. Granny Smith's pushing hard, and KWG showing a little bit of some turnovers, which is unusual for them. They came out strong, 100% consistency with their throwing, and just seem to have had a few miscommunications, just missing throws, putting a little too much on it. So we'll see if they can clean that up.
And we'll see if the Granny Smith's defensive line can put some pressure on KWG once again and find another break point. Of course, KWG is looking to build on their lead. Pull makes it past half. Nice throw up into the middle. And a Huck up the field. Huck is caught by Dearden, who makes a quick pass for the conversion up to Blanchard. And we have Waterloo in white out of Ontario heading into halftime with a 2-point lead, 8-6 over the Kelowna locals, the Granny Smiths in green.
Just like to thank our sponsors. We have Discraft here and BE Ultimate making everyone look spiffy. Without them, we couldn't put on a beautiful Masters Ultimate Canada Championship like we have. So thank you to them, and we'll take a quick break over half and come back with some more beautiful commentary.
Thank you, everybody. All right, we are back at the Canadian Ultimate Championship Masters. We are coming back with, after halftime, with the notorious KWG in white out of Ontario, leading 8-6 over the local team out of Kelowna, the Granny Smiths in green. What are the teams looking to do this half, Grace?
I think KWG needs to clean up their offense a little bit. They started off really strong, not making any errors, completing their 100% of their throws, and last few points leading into half, they had a few errors. So looking to clean that up again, back to their really strong offense. And Granny Smith's got to keep up the strong defense, keep getting those breaks, and keep doing what they're doing. It was nice to see over half. A few of the Granny Smiths players came over to KWG just to check in, make sure spirits still high, and it's nice to see in Ultimate that spirit of the game is such an important part of the game. It's nice to see when something's self-ref, they can check in and make sure everyone's still having a good time while playing a competitive sport.
Yes, the camaraderie, the sportsmanship. I love this game for that. So we have the pull, and it was out of bounds, and we got Granny Smiths taking it at the center line. Palowitz moves it up to Husker, who quickly passed it over to Dunning. Dunning moves it up the field to Tam. Tam, couldn't continue the throw to Chris Alexander, and notorious KWG looking to make another break point here. Quick movement. Thomas drops it back. And a big flick by Rambo moving up the field. And it was not caught. The notorious player couldn't get there in time. Excellent defense by Chris Alexander to make that catch difficult. Granny Smith has another chance here to convert this point. Oh, a throw across the field, not caught by Palowitz, and now KWG has possession right at Granny Smith's end zone line. Great opportunity for a break point here. And there it is, a quick toss. And KWG has found another break point. Looks like it was Neary who made that cut.
That was unbelievable defense here on the line. I think it was Sherman putting a hard mark on, and the defense around just clamping down, really trapped them on their own end zone corner. Didn't really have a whole lot of options, had to throw a riskier throw cross field, and the throw just wasn't quite there. Didn't work out for them, but really, really unbelievable defense there from KWG, clamping down hard on the end zone.
Yeah, those are not the passes you want to be making at your own end zone.
No.
However, that just is a testament to the defense of notorious KWG, forcing those throws.
Really showing their strong offense again, not making a lot of errors, and I think they've turned it around in half. They're looking sharp coming out of half.
So we have Granny Smiths in green. They are receiving this pull here, and they have their offensive line out, and they know how important this point is to keep in this game. Nice pull there, and we have James Chester receiving it, and he moves it up to Melanchuk. Chester fakes the huck with the backhand and does a forehand huck. Jeff Sill looking for it and finds it in the end zone. Jeff Sill with a contested catch, but pulls it down for the point.
That throw by James Chester, absolutely beautiful. The way it just falls into the breadbasket of Jeff Sill, no matter how hard that defensive player was trying and how good his positioning was, that throw just pretty much undefendable the way it drops right into the breadbasket like that. It was unbelievable throw by James Chester.
And way to throw a backhand fake there. His defender bit on that, and so he had the wide open forehand throw. Excellent play by Granny Smiths.
Similar to Melnichuk there, it's that fake is really getting the KWG players, and it's opening up the second option for Granny Smiths, taking those wide open huck shots when they're there.
Well, excellent play by Granny Smiths, but they still have lots of work to do. They need to find some break points here. So this defensive line, I see them talking on the line right now. I'm sure they realize how important it is to find a turnover and convert this point. We got Alia Ramadan doing the pull here, number 2. And it is up. Fantastic pull deep into the end zone of KWG. KWG moves it up. We got Ready Cop in the center of the field. Swings it over to Likely. Likely looks up the field. A few quick passes in the center of the field. Likely looking up the field. Drops it back to Ready Cop and back to Thorson. Back over to Likely and over to Ready Cop. Oh, lots of passes required by NWG and they couldn't, or KWG, and they couldn't find that one. Granny Smiths capitalizing here, moving it quickly up the field. Melnichuk moves it up, but the pass was not caught. Does KWG want to slow it down here now, catch their breath?
I don't think so. I think they want to get it moving so that zone can't set up properly on defense.
Okay, Ready Cop swings it over. Wiley Toll moves it up. Over to Likely. Likely to Wiley Toll. Back to Ready Cop. Over to Likely. And to Ready Cop for the conversion.
Little scooper there to end up. Unusual unforced errors and turned it over but got it back and broke that zone quickly. They tried to set it up. Granny Smiths tried to set it up on the fly and KWG just moved it quickly, didn't let them quite set up, and Granny Smiths were behind the play the whole way up there.
You could see how KWG was really trying to prevent, or sorry, Granny Smiths was really trying to prevent that forward throw, but finally KWG found that forward progression and they continued it with quick passes, finding that point, leading this game 10-7. Looks like the local team, Granny Smith, has a lot of work to do if they want to pull themselves back into this game.
Yeah, Granny Smith just can't be making unforced errors against a team like this. They've got a really good conversion rate, and if they're going to be causing turnovers, they're just going to get scored on.
KWG here, pulling the disc to Granny Smith's offensive line here. Let's see what they can put together. James Chester picks it up. Quick pass to Tam. Tam looking upfield. Swings it back to Chester and back to Tam. They can't seem to find the upfield throw over to Palowitz, back to Chester on the sidelines. Looks like something was called.
It was a pick up the field called, but the handlers didn't register it, so they just kept playing. It's going to, I think, stay with Palowitz there.
Okay, back to Palowitz. Great cut by Chung. Back to Tam and swings it over to Chester. Hosker passes it back to Tam. Forehand to Chester. They're looking to convert here. Drop back to Tam. Looks like we have another pick called.
The women on Granny Smith's this point really putting in work. They're hustling hard and coming out on top.
Tam looking to convert. He puts it up, but it is away. Chung could not catch up to that disc, and we have a turnover. KWG deep in their territory, but possible chance for yet another break point if they can convert this. Oh, good defense by Palowitz, knocking that disc out of the air, and Granny Smiths are back at it to get this point. Great cut by Chung, but we do have a travel called. Looks like Thomas Flynn, number 11, KWG, calling a travel on Chester there. And what do you think Chester did that warranted that call?
Well, I think that the disc should have been taken on the sideline, and he didn't have his plant foot on the sideline and just traveled into bounds.
I see. Well, nonetheless, Chester gets another chance. Oh, and they could not make it happen. Great cut there by Staples on Granny Smith's. Couldn't bring it down, though. KWG back at it, moving the disc, swinging it out. And back to the center. Martin there with the disc in the center of the field. Swings it over to Atkinson, looking up the field. Back to Martin. Moves the disc up to Gawala. Gawala on the sideline. Great progression up to Dearden, and Dearden puts it up. Oh, a little touch, a little assist there by Froze, but caught and brought down for KWG.
That was, again, some clean movement from KWG. Really, really efficient. It was a hard-fought point both ends. They just really finished it off strong there. Nice movement up the break side, and had a nice little garbage pickup there. It was a bit of a floater, and they did come down with it.
That was great for Atkinson to stay on that disc, even when it was touched by her teammate, to follow that disc and bring it down for the point. Well, KWG now has a commanding lead, 11-7. Kelowna's local team here, the Granny Smiths, need to pull out a lot of consecutive points here, Grace.
Put in some heavy work. There's no room for error here on Kelowna's side. They got to get some quick points moving and some efficient D-line going.
Well, hands are up. Looks like they are ready. Not a lot of chatter on the line from Granny Smiths. They just walked out there and looked ready to go.
Beautiful pull.
Number 25, Rambo, pulling the disc out there well into Granny Smith's territory. It swung over to Ramadan and over to Bowie, number 43. And it is hucked. It is up. Excellent defense by Sherman, number 4, and KWG.
Looks like there might be a call on that play. A bit of a funny thing here. We have Melnichuk and Bowie back handling, and both of them are shooters, and they had the disc on the sideline of KWG just yelling shooter, meaning watch the huck deep. Turns out it doesn't matter. We're going to take it. Granny Smiths are going to take it anyway. Looks like the call may have been resolved. The two men in the end zone giving each other a high five.
Good to see a little high five there. Good sportsmanship.
So Jeff Zill will take it on the end zone line. Uncontested foul.
Okay. Granny Smith's looking to convert this opportunity here. It's up over top, caught by Tom in the end zone, and converted for the point.
Nice little scoober there to a wide open player. Really efficient end zone there for Granny Smiths.
Well, that brings Granny Smith's 1 point closer. It is 11-8. KWG in white leading over the Granny Smiths. They still got some work to do.
Seems like that deep throw is working for Granny Smiths. They have the athleticism and the speed over KWG maybe to pull those down. They seem to be working quite well for Granny and making some quick, easy points for them.
Well, we're going to need to see some more points from Granny Smiths in order to get back into this game. 11-8.
Hopefully they can pull out a break here. That's what they need at this point in the game to turn it around.
Yes, we've got the defensive line for Granny Smith's going to be looking to get a turnover and then convert that point to bring the game a little bit closer.
Dunning's got a big pull, so let's see where he can put this one for the Granny Smiths.
Looking to pull it far into the field, and Granny Smiths are running down there fast to get down there to put some pressure on. Good little bounce and roll there. Oh, and KWG puts it up. We got Bauman bringing it down. Great throw and catch there. King caught, put it up to Atkinson, who catches it in the end zone. Really fast pickup and huck there to get it to the end zone for KWG.
KWG making me eat my words there. I'm saying Granny Smith might have that deep matchup, and they just proved me wrong pretty efficiently. Saying they too can take those shots deep and execute well.
Yes, really quick point there for KWG. Great distance off the huck and excellent short passes on the end zone to ensure that they convert that point. So that puts us at 12 for KWG in the white, to 9 for Granny Smiths in the green. Granny Smith's offensive line, I'm sure, would love to get a nice quick point here.
Sorry, viewers at home. There's a wasp that's bugging me, so I'm a little quiet. Big pull here from KWG.
Wasp in the commentating tent here. We got Palowitz bringing that down. Moving it up to Tam and over to Chester, and a give and go to Tam. Looking to, moves it up to Hosker. Back to Chester. And puts it over top to Tam. Nice throw. Tam puts it up. And it is brought down by Kaylee Hosker.
Little push pass there by James Chester. I think it was a high stall count, just a bit of a put it to space and a absolutely beautiful put in the end zone, just wide open space, letting Hosker run onto it.
That is exactly what Granny Smith needed, a quick point to keep their hopes up in this game, but they will need their defensive line to do some work here, find that break point to bring it back. They are still 3 points behind, 12-9 for KWG out of Ontario.
They haven't had a good answer for KWG's offense yet, so let's see if they can turn it around. KWG really has an efficient O-line. They're not making a lot of mistakes and really converting well. So let's see what Granny Smith can do.
Little chatter on the sideline. Observers are there, and the hands are up. Granny Smiths look ready. And here comes the pull. Pulls out there. KWG would love to get a quick point here. Oh, and a drop in the middle of the field. Tang could not bring that down. Granny Smith's looking for that break point. Hills puts it up to Rust there. Rust has the disc, looking to convert. Puts it forward to Dunning. Back to Hills. Hills looking for the give and go, but it's put back to Hayward. And Hayward tries to get it in there for Rust, but couldn't find him.
Bit of a sharp angle on that throw. Couldn't quite complete the inside break throw.
KWG calling some sort of play there. Moving it up to Dunning. Oh, no, sorry, not Dunning. Oh, tries for the huck. And Dearden could not bring that down. Granny Smith's wasting no time, moving the disc up the field. That's Dunning, who just fell over, but looks like he got up. Looks like they're both okay.
I think they're just maybe having a bit of a discussion on the bid. It's you're not allowed to make a bid on the disc if you can do it with you can't create contact to make a bid. So unless you can do it without making contact with the other player, you cannot take those bids.
Okay. Swings it over to Hills. Hills moves it up to Dimma. Dimma drops it back. Dunning looking for a throw. Finds Dimma. Dimma to Rust. Rust looking upfield. Finds Hayward. Hayward puts it up. And it is brought down by KWG.
Bit of an errant throw there. Both of the Granny Smith's players losing that height matchup. So I'm sure he wants that throw back.
Looks like a timeout is called. Both these lines have been working hard out there.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit warm here in Kelowna today. It's hot on this turf. The players, I'm sure, are feeling it just a little bit here. Wouldn't mind some cooler temperatures out there, I'm sure.
Now in Ultimate, you cannot sub on the fly. Is that right, Grace?
That's correct. You can take an injury, but there's no subs on the fly. So these 7 players are on there till the point ends.
So these 2 lines, although they're allowed to take a timeout, get some water, they are still on there. You see some shenanigans in the field. I believe those are the players who are not currently on the field. What are they doing out there?
I think they're just having fun with each other. It's sometimes these games can get a bit tense, so it's nice to have a little bit of sideline fun, bringing the attitudes up, making sure everyone's all relaxed and having fun out here. Still, it's nationals, but it is still the game of Ultimate, and we love spirit.
Okay. Well, it looks like KWG is all set up. They are going to be trying to get this point and take a commanding lead on this game. Good throw up to Doyle. And it is put up. Oh, Tang trying to bring that throw down. Couldn't find it. Granny Smith's now trying to find this break point. Swung over to Russ, number 35 in the center of the field. Swings it over to the sideline. I believe that's McClelland. Oh, and good defense by Tang from KWG in white, turning that disc over. Quick pick up and throw and movement up the field. Tang looking to move it up to Root. Root moves it up to Doyle. Drop back to Root. And swings it ahead to Froze, who does a little hop into the end zone there.
So Granny Smith came out there with a bit of bracketing. Their women specifically, they were doing a bit of a I'll take the deep, you take the under, and we're going to switch players. Seemed to work out quite well for them for the most part of the field there. So maybe that's something they're going to try to do to stop this KWG offense. It's still scored the point, but I think they had to work a little bit harder for that one. So that might be the play for Granny Smith.
Well, it is 13-9 for notorious KWG out of Ontario in white to the local team, Kelowna's Granny Smiths in green. What do you think Granny Smiths needs to do to turn this game around? Do they have a chance here?
To be perfectly honest, I think they don't, but I think that they could get a few more points, get a few breaks, and maybe get some momentum going into their next games. It's KWG is just a good team. They're efficient. Their attitudes are high. Like they seem just like the stronger team here today. But Granny Smith have a lot more games this weekend, so just get some good flow, work out the kinks for Granny Smith, and maybe they'll bring it into the next game they play.
Well, NWG pulls it out of bounds there by Rambo, number 25. They are looking to close this game out. I'm sure they would love another break point here. But Granny Smiths, as you said, would still love to get some more points here, give themselves some hope in this game, and to move into future games knowing that they have played the whole game as well as they could. Moved up to Kaylee Hosker. Drop back to Tam. Tam looking up the field and goes for the huck. It's up. Number 80, Chung, catches it in the end zone. Excellent cut there.
Nick Chung there had an absolutely beautiful cut. Had his guy on his absolutely on his heels, did a quick under and was wide open deep for the throw there deep. I can't remember who threw it, but it was an absolutely beautiful throw to a wide open cutter.
That is exactly what Granny Smith needs, especially in this heat. Get a nice quick point, build a little momentum moving into this next play where the defensive line is going to need to hold the line.
I don't know that Granny Smith has had a break yet this game. They may have, but they're going to need to bring some out now. This
is really a sort of do or die moment here for Granny Smiths. If they don't find that break, moving into a 14-10 situation is not where you want to be, Grace.
No, absolutely not. It's a point of no return, I would say.
This game goes to 15, so of course 14-10, you are right up against the ropes here. So Granny Smith is going to be pulling to KWG, and they're going to try and turn over, get possession, and find that point. Big throw there. Will it stay in bounds? No. Does not stay in bounds. So KWG will get to bring it up to the brick line in the center of the field and start from there.
Bit of camaraderie here on the sideline. The players just joking around with each other from either team. It's nice to see.
The captain of the Kelowna team did say at the start of the game that having fun was a priority of this team, and it looks like they are having that.
That's a large man on the mark there. It's hard to beat a Michael Bowie mark.
Well, looks
KWG
like,
looking pretty easy with it.
yeah, they are breaking that mark. Great quick throws here by KWG. And a quick cut by Blanchard to the sidelines. Puts it up to Dearden. And Dearden finishes the job. KWG looking clean and crisp right now, Grace.
Yeah, it's I've seen a lot of ultimate, and I can't say that I've seen that many breaks on Bowie's mark. That was clean. That was showing Granny Smith that that was the wrong choice on defense. They executed well, and those were some crisp throws.
Atkinson, I don't have the stats in front of me, but I know Atkinson has made a couple end zone catches this game, and another one there.
Wide open there. They tried to go play person defense midway through and just didn't pick her up. She ended up wide open in the end zone.
I guess when you start with that zone defense, you're trying to prevent that pass up the field. But when it does happen, you need to sort of fall back, retreat into a person on person. And that can be a bit messy, can't it?
Yeah, it's not, especially with a team that's not used to playing with each other. A lot of these Kelowna players are just pickups, aren't used to playing with each other. It's that chemistry is not always there for changing back to person defense.
We did hear from the captains that KWG has been playing pretty consistently for 5 to 6 years with each other. Some of these players have known each other for 20 years, longtime friends. And although a lot of the Kelowna players do play together, they captain also said they had to learn each other's names at the start of the last game.
Yeah,
so,
not quite used to it.
Well, we got Chester in the middle of the field trying to earn some points here. Hucks it up. Oh, and defended by KWG. Hopefully he's okay here. Melanchuk was going for the catch and a little bump, but he's up and walking. Just waiting to see. Oh, a cartwheel, so we know he's doing well. That looks like that was Ready Cop, by the way. Ready Cop with that amazing defensive play. And he did take a substitution, didn't he?
Yeah, took an injury. So the contact there, he just needed a little timeout. So somebody else came in for him. Can't quite see the number.
KWG looking to finish this game right here and now. Moving up the field and a big forehand huck. Tam looking to get the defense, but he cannot. KWG closes this game out in dramatic fashion, 15-10.
Cam did absolutely everything he could on that defense. It's just a little bit of a size discrepancy there and couldn't quite get up with the KWG player.
Tim Likely brings down the winning throw, contested, as you said, by Tam. And KWG wins this game over Granny Smith's. Would you say a really solid game, but KWG just seemed to be a little bit cleaner, a little bit crisper, less turnovers, less errors?
I think you can just see with two teams like this that that chemistry, playing with each other, being a team that's established for a number of years really does help. Granny Smith has the skill. A lot of their players are great players. It's just they don't have the team chemistry that KWG showed today. They had a few throwaways, just not quite used to playing with each other. And I think that was kind of their fault today. They had a few really good points, some nice deep looks, but as a whole, KWG just really consistent with the disc and showed up like a team that has played a while and knows how to value the disc and convert points.
Well, as you mentioned, KWG played this morning and looked very solid in that game, and they certainly look solid in this game. So they're going on into their tournament, 2 wins. Granny Smith's taking a loss here, but with a win this morning. hoping to do better. And hopefully, you know, over the course of this tournament, they'll build some of that chemistry that KWG certainly has.
It'll be, yeah, I think this was a good matchup for Granny Smith, just seeing how they can match up against a team that is a strong team, values the disc, and seeing that they are still close and they were in it and they had a lot of great things to take from that game. So I think
together. Like a time and have that score.
For the rest of the day and who they match up with, but I wish them luck, both teams.
Yes, really hard fought game. We will be taking a break here from the Canadian Ultimate Championship Masters, brought to you by Discraft and BE Ultimate, as well as Ultimate Canada. We'll be coming back for a game at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So be there for that. We've got more Ultimate action at 4:30 today. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Sorry. That is our next game. Short break. I always get 24-hour time wrong. 2:30 p.m.